Is upon us. It's week 12 of the NFL season, and we're underway on EA Sports. Jerick McKinnon to take it out of the end zone. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. They begin with a run by Barkley. It'll go as a loss of a yard on the game's first play. Second down. This defense for the Dolphins, they really played well a week ago in that win over the Jets.
Yeah, what stood out to me on tape, the way they were flying to the football. So that tells me that they've got all their assignments down, and they're playing with extreme confidence.
On 2nd and 11 now. Jones, open target here, Darius Slayton. And they work this well upfield across the 45. A gain of 28 yards there and give them a first down. Jones with a handoff to Barkley. And this time they were ready for him as they'll stop him right at the line of scrimmage. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
I really like what he did there because he took his practice work and converted it to game action because he used his hands, got off the block, worked laterally and stayed to the outside, and finished off the runner for a loss.
Running again with Barkley on 2nd down. And a pretty athletic run right there as he's going to get this down inside the 40. First down, Giants on a pickup of 14.
That's how you get right up off of the mat because on the last play, they stoned him in the backfield and dropped him for a loss. But he's the type of guy that scared me a little bit because he's not daunted. Just got right back up, showed some confidence, and picked up a first down with his very next run.
Now Jones throwing on first down. As this complete to Daniel Bellinger. And they're going to work this down to about the 32-yard line.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
And only able to get 2 here. Stopped at the 30. When we talk about defenders, specifically linebackers, keeping their eyes in the right spot, he had that eye down the entire time.
And you know that's not easily done because they throw a lot of misdirection at you. They try and fool you and get your eyes in the wrong place. But you're right about that one. He correctly figured that one out and made a really nice play.
They'll try to run for it with Barkley. And he's able to work his way down inside the red zone to the 19-yard line. It's a gain of 11 and a Giant first down. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. And he's got it. Touchdown, Giants. Darius Slayton, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Giants put the night's first points on the board as they take the early lead. Looking sharp on that first drive. These guys, of course, coming off back-to-back victories. And you see that kind of advancing into this game, don't you?
You certainly do. And when you have a team that doesn't get too full of itself, even though they've won 2 games in a row, you get the end result that we saw there. That nice opening drive because they're sharp, they're focused, and they're locked into everything that they're doing.
Matt Gay on for the extra point. It's up, it's good, and the Giants have a 7-0 lead.
Makes the score Giants 7, Dolphins 0.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This is going to be returned from middle of the end zone. And he'll wind up getting a couple extra yards here for his trouble and bringing it out of the end zone as he's down at the 27. To end the Dolphins now with a 1st and 10 at their own 27. Off of play action, Tagovailoa. And he can't get away from the pressure. The Giants get there. Ellerson Smith charges in there hard and drops him for a loss of 12 from that outside linebacker position. That huge loss on the sack makes this job much more difficult. It's now 2nd down and 22 yards to go. Meanwhile, Tua's throw here going to be caught by Wilson. They get 16 out of that one, but they'll still need to convert on 3rd. Throwing is Tagovailoa on 3rd down here. That one caught by Tyreek Hill. And he is going to have the Dolphins 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
I know at the end of games, coaches always tell us that no one play won or lost a game. This seems pretty important early, doesn't it? Their ability to pick up that 1st down on 3rd down, I thought that was key.
Well, you're already in the hole after the touchdown on the other side. How will you respond? We talk about that a lot, and they responded pretty well there. You go 3 and out, I think you give up a lot of momentum. You get down 2 scores, could be an entirely different game.
So they've got a nice drive going now. They're in good shape. What's interesting to me is they're also in that spot of the field where you would take a shot. Do you change that up just because you're down a touchdown?
To throw again on 2nd down. Tua. And to the left side here, Wilson. And a good stiff arm there before he's brought down on a nice little gain. In search of 4 yards here to pick up the 1st down. Tagovailoa working out of the gun. Going right back to Wilson. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. He had 3 catches last week. That one his 3rd on this drive alone. Well, that's not just his 1st, not his 2nd, already his 3rd completion here on the opening drive. And I think it's safe to say that getting him the ball in this game, one of their top priorities.
And a top priority for the defense has got to be finding ways to cover him. And I don't think you can have one basic coverage to get it done. You have to throw a number of coverages at him, make him think as he's running downfield, and hope you can create a little bit of havoc.
Here we go, set. Ready.
From the 35 on 2nd down. Tua. Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. There he goes, right side. 20, 10, and he will bring it back. It's a pick 6 and a Giants touchdown. We thought this defense would be opportunistic, and they were. Here you're already up. Now you got a 2-touchdown lead. I tell you, going out there on defense, did they have a little bit of extra momentum with a score already on the board?
Oh, without a doubt. That already felt good to them, and they took it and used it and obviously put up another one. But here's the thing now. Some defense coordinators might want to pull their guys back a little bit because they don't want them to make mistakes because they're too overamped. Others say, I've got a 2-touchdown lead. Go get them, guys. They'll be even more aggressive.
So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback.
At their own 19-yard line.
The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. And they're in a bind early here, down 14-0. Are you worried at this stage or still too early?
You're worried. You're just trying not to transmit it to the rest of your team. You want to make sure that they stay positive. But at the same time, you're wondering, how are we going to move the football? What do we have on this play sheet that can work? Get back to basics is usually your answer. And make sure you find the guy who can move the ball fastest for you if you just get it in his hands.
Yeah, still second quarter. You get points on the board here. I think you're feeling okay. Setting to throw on first down is Tua. Oh, that's into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked by Julian Love. And the Giants are going to take possession of the football. And that now 2 interceptions thrown in the second quarter.
And you know, a lot of people look at these guys and they think to themselves that maybe, possibly, they're still thinking about the first one. And they probably are. I think in this case, he's just trying to atone for the first interception. Tried a little bit too hard, maybe forced it a bit, and instead created a second one.
A first down carry for Barkley. Slipped one tackle, but no more as he's knocked to the deck behind the line of scrimmage. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
And that's what I like to see out of this defense, a little fire, a little toughness. It hasn't been the best first half for them, but they did do a nice job there, forcing a loss on that play.
Second down, here's Barkley again. 4 yards on the pickup there as they get it back to a more manageable 3rd and 7.
You got to give kudos to your offensive line and the guy carrying the ball because they were in a 2nd and long situation. It seemed pretty dire, but they brought it back to 3rd and manageable with that run.
Now Jones. Got a man, Slayton. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop him. That's a 3rd down conversion to 24 yards there. Nice play.
But things are definitely going right for them here in the first half. Pick a down, any down, even 3rd down, no problem. They get a connection there and pick up a fresh set of downs, continuing to move the ball.
And they get to him quickly here as he stopped right around the 13. Javon Holland coming up to make the stop.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. Again, it's Barkley. And he'll get this one down to about the 10-yard line. Give him 3 on the run there. Now they're looking at a 3rd and about 5.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature and make sure you don't get hurt.
Throwing Jones. And it's going to be incomplete. He was able to catch it there on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. And it's going to bring up 4th down. A 3rd down, he tried to stay in bounds, did all he could. He caught it, but was led a little bit too far.
Yeah, and that's always difficult, isn't it? Because you know half of your body is trying to stay behind while the other half is reaching out, trying to catch the football. The top half worked. It was the bottom half that was in question.
Well, they already had the early lead, and they get the interception, Charles, and now they add 3 more with the field goal.
Yeah, they're in control of how this game is playing out so far. You mentioned the early lead. Now they're expanding on it, getting plays on both sides of the ball. A winning recipe if they can keep this up.
And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. First down Miami as they get set to start the drive. And job one here, Charles, just keep possession of the football. 2 drives, 2 turnovers to this point.
You're exactly right, Doctor. Hippocratic oath. First, do no harm. And right now, they're harming themselves on offense.
I like that. No one is... Oh, and Tua going to be intercepted for the 3rd time. And the Giants are going to take possession of the football. Well, I'm not sure that the wheels, Charles, are coming completely off, but they're shaking a little bit. That's 3 interceptions, and now interceptions here on back-to-back drives.
And I think about what a Hall of Fame coach told me, that he always told his teams, when a mistake happens, just move on to the next play. Let it go. Hard to do when you throw this many interceptions. That's exactly the attitude that has to be adopted.
42 yards rushing for him now on what was his 10th carry of the ball game. What makes a draw play like that successful?
Well, we did see where he made the first wave miss, and that was a big part of it, but a lot of it is just being actors back there, making the defense think it's going to be a pass.
Here's Jones on 1st and 10, escaping the pressure right, and he wisely will throw that one away.
This is where good coaching and execution come into play, because down this close, you absolutely don't want to turn it over. Good job keeping that in mind as he escaped, bought time, and decided throwing it away was his best option.
On 2nd down, here's Barkley. The broken tackle could not free him as he's brought down at the 10-yard line. Now the Dolphins going to burn the first of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. In their mind, certainly a field goal try would be a letdown. They had the great starting field position, now facing 3rd down. Looking to throw. Jones. All right, rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. And the Dolphins are going to take over once again, and they'll have it at their own 8-yard line.
And that felt like a little extra pressure on that 3rd down attempt, and their mistake cost them points because they're inside the red zone. So you know you get at least a field goal waiting for you. And in this case, they end up with nothing.
The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. They got the ball now following a big play, keeping the other guys out of the end zone. Now they'll start deep in their own territory, 1st and 10. And that is incomplete. Oh, the coverage a little too good there, and it's 2nd down.
This defense not going to make it easy for you. They're a physical group, and we just saw it there on that play. It came in, made the contact, just as he's trying to haul it in.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. Throwing now is Tagovailoa. Flushed out right. And going deep for Hill. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long way out there, but it'll be 3rd down.
Barton, I think he's got to be careful as he continues to try to extend plays because he's already been intercepted in this game. And the coverage, they continue to challenge all of his receivers downfield.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Now Tua. It's brought in by Wilson. The Dolphins going to take their 2nd timeout as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the 1st half.
Ready.
Tua setting up shop to throw again. He'll rifle this one deep right side. And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. Picked up by the USC man. Jackson.
They'll take over 1st and 10 at their own 41-yard line.
The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. And with good starting field position and 3 timeouts as well in their pocket, no reason not to try and put a late scoring drive together. The pass is caught by Cade Otton. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. The Giants going to go ahead and use the first of their timeouts as they stop it here with just under 40 ticks to go in this first half. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Back to throw. Jones. Finding Otten once more. And he'll be marked down right at the 20-yard line. Now another timeout called for by the offense as they get it right at the 32nd mark of this first half. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. They'll send a receiver here in motion right. Jones now on first down. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked up by Javon Holland. And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. And he will bring it back. It's a pick six and a Dolphins touchdown. So what a play there in the final minute of this first half. They get the interception. More importantly, their first points of the ball game.
Yeah, that one play certainly changes the outlook, doesn't it? I mean, they're looking at going into the locker room. No points on the board. Not playing well defensively. Deflated. And now things may have changed for them.
Extra point up and good by Sanders. And that'll cut the lead to 17-7. So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away. And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee and they'll bring the football out to the 25. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. And with a 2-score lead already, they may just look to get this thing to the locker room. A run there on first down gets 3 up to the 28. Now a timeout. 7 seconds left in the first half.
Brings up 2nd and 7 at the 28-yard line.
Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28. They'll keep it on the ground again here. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. So we come upon halftime here with the visiting Giants out on top. As we go up to Orlando now and hand it over to Jonathan Coachman with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Take it away, Coach. And we welcome you back now. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, getting set for quarter number 3 here. The Dolphins down on the scoreboard, but they'll have it first as we get going in this third quarter. This will be brought out from the middle of the end zone. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback. First down Miami as they get set to start the drive. This offense, Charles, had a strong first half throwing the football, at least in terms of yardage, but that hasn't translated so far in this. He's got a man complete. And all the way in for a Miami touchdown. For as big and strong as some of these guys are, especially when you see them in full pads, it is sometimes hard to appreciate how truly fast they can move. That was incredible.
Well, in this league where coordinators worry so much about drawing up the right routes, blocking assignments, misdirections and stuff, they have these precise arrows and movements. Sometimes the best play is just go from the schoolyard where you look at your fastest guy and say, go get it, big man.
next-gen stats are going to tell the story, and wow, what a story it is. Nearly a full 23 miles an hour. One of the fastest plays on record, folks. Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders. Out of the end zone comes McKinnon. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. And maybe some renewed pressure on this unit following the touchdown a moment ago. It's back to a one-score game.
And because of that pressure, because it's now a one-score game, they know this is where you need to slow the momentum change. Because otherwise, that could overrun your team. You've got to be careful right here.
Running again with Barkley on second down. A pickup of about 3 yards as he's taken down at the 31.
We know that old expression, it's not my night. It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. Jones on third down. That ball caught by Slayton. Touchdown! Darius Slayton with his second touchdown of the game, number 7 on the year. And they are able to add on to their advantage. Gay is on for the point after. And his guys will take a 10-point lead.
Makes the score Giants 24, Dolphins 14.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And they'll put up the stop sign there as his guys will get it at the 25. The Dolphins at the line, ready for their next drive.
Well, partner, you know, coaches always say that every play is designed to score a touchdown. Sometimes that's not really true, but last drive, that was the case. One play to get into the end zone, and now they'll try to duplicate that success here.
And it's rare for those moments to happen. Incredible when they do. And you saw the celebration. Pure, unbridled joy after that one.
Following the incomplete pass, here they go again. 2nd and 10 from the 25. Here's Tagovailoa to throw. And my goodness, another interception. And the Giants are going to take possession of the football. I think you and I were a little surprised back earlier in the game when he threw his second interception. I mean, who would have thought a quarterback of his caliber picked now 5 times?
It's beyond stunning to me because we're used to that with maybe a quarterback with less experience or less talent. But a quarterback of his caliber, I can't believe what we've just seen.
Absolutely. If you would have told me this coming into the ballgame, I would have said never, not in a million years. But here we go. Well, the first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14. They'll run it again with Barkley. And here he'll be brought down a little shy of the 35 at the 36. 69 yards on the ground for him so far. And I see an extra defensive back on the field. A little surprise here on 3rd and 1. Up the middle with Barkley. And he's going to get to the 31, enough for the first down. They get 5 out of that one, and it moves the chains.
Brandon, what were they thinking on defense there? That looked like they were playing for the pass. That was 3rd and short. Yeah, it was an easy pickup because they handed it to him. That was way too easy.
Just looked like absolute confusion defensively. Not sure why they were in that set.
Yeah, I'd say you ought to have a few men in the box there.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. Not his best throw there, but where we sit right now in the 3rd quarter, he's had a pretty good game throwing the football.
He certainly has, and it's not exactly the point where we're doing 4-minute offense yet, but they've got to think about, I'm not going to say milking the clock, but understanding clock management here on out.
Third quarter from Miami. This is 2nd and 10. Looking to throw. Jones. And for a third time tonight, he's intercepted. Picked up by Xavier Howard. And the Dolphins are going to take over at their own 41. So a potential momentum shifter there, working with a 2-score lead, third quarter, but that, not the smartest of throws.
I would agree with you on that one because this game is still very much in the balance. It got pretty one-sided to this point, but now, if these guys can turn this turnover into points, things could start getting a little more interesting.
Pretty good results here on the first down run as he takes us forward for about 6. 6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4. Looking to pass. Tua. And going deep for Hill. And it's knocked away and incomplete.
I'm sure this isn't a novel thought, but maybe run some simpler routes instead of trying to get it all back in one shot. Defense certainly appears to be ready for him. Try and get it back little by little instead of in big chunks.
And able to find Gesicki as tight end. And he is going to have the Dolphins first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
Many different ways to create space, but on that play, he did it with that big, wide body of his. Didn't get a whole lot of yardage on the play, but it did what it was supposed to. Pick up a first down.
They fake the handoff. Now Tua. Left side here to Sanders. And he is out of bounds inside the 35. A Miami first down, that one going for a gain of 11.
We talk about mobility on quarterbacks all the time. Here's where it really pays off. Able to move, evade, and is accurate throwing on the run and picking up a first down.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Going to the air, Tagovailoa. And he's got his tight end, it's Mike Gesicki. And he's brought down inside the 20 at the 18-yard line. Shotgun snap and then the give to Sanders. And he'll get this down only to the 18. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Well, they still have time to get him established, but in my estimation, they've got to pick up the urgency here. They've got to get quickly in and out of the huddle and run off a bunch more plays.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. Here's Tua. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
Well, he certainly didn't like what he saw at all from the coverage on his primary reads, and he didn't even have any luck trying to get back to his safety valve. Give defense credit. Coverage was in lockdown mode everywhere.
Tua sets up to pass it. That's going to be caught. And he can't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. 1st and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. They'll run with Sanders. And he takes it into the end zone for the Dolphin touchdown. Miles Sanders, his 7th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Dolphins are able to get a score back in the final stages of this third quarter. Solid blocking up front from the guys on the offensive line allowed him to get in for the touchdown.
Yeah, some might say that the guys on the offensive line were in concert. I used to have a coach who called it marrying up, meaning when you get on a guy, you just stay right there, and each guy has his own assignment. That allowed the runner to make the big move towards the end zone.
Now he's back out there to boom this one away, maybe with some frustration after the PAT miss. And they'll start at the 25 as McKinnon decides against returning it. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. And 3 interceptions in this game, and I would have to think, I wasn't a quarterback, but number 4's kind of, you're like, oh man, I can't throw 4.
No, what's interesting.
And now off to the races, down the right side. Touchdown, Giants. 20 on the year, and the Giants are able to extend their lead in the final seconds of this third quarter.
Well, that is certainly a deflator right there defensively. Their guys just came off of a touchdown drive. They're back in the game, and then bam, they give up a touchdown one play later. How about that?
And the momentum, which seemingly had shifted the other direction, thought we might be seeing a comeback. That momentum right back the other way.
Well, that is certainly not complimentary football that we saw right there. The defense is supposed to help their offense, not give up another touchdown.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. From a yard or two deep, here comes a return.
The Dolphins take over first and 10 at their own 21-yard line.
Ready.
First down Miami as they get set to start the drive. And the script really is flipped for them. The momentum on the other sideline, and now they have to try and battle back from a two-score deficit. They're throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete.
That was an interesting look there because as soon as he got outside the pocket, I thought he was going to take off and run for yardage. But what often happens now with these quarterbacks who can move, defenses want to try and keep bodies in front of them. And I think that discouraged him from taking off and made him try a pass downfield that fell incomplete.
On 2nd and 10, Tua gonna look deep for Wilson. And now here's another interception. Picked off by Xavier McKinney. And the Giants are going to take possession here at their own 47-yard line. But with the points that we've seen scored, neither defense has been at their best. But these guys, they've been a little bit better, Charles. And a nice interception there.
Yeah, you're right about that, Brandon. Let's face it. It's not always how you start, it's how you finish, right? So maybe you have a rough game all the way along. But if you make a big play like that at the right time, it can make everything turn out just okay.
And they'll work this down to the 40-yard line. Tackled there. 163 yards rushing for him so far as his terrific season continues here. And carries like that, that's how they're going to continue to salt this thing away here, Charles, in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, how about that? A new set of downs. Clock continues to move. No better way to close out a game than to tap those mastodons you have up front and say, guys, keep pounding them. Let's keep the ball, keep their offense on the sidelines, and let's close this one out.
Down to about the 37.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces, and I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
And a very determined run there as he'll take this all the way down to the 27. Good effort. 10 yards, good for a Giant first down.
Well, that's a carry they have to be satisfied with. And throughout this game, they've been satisfied with what he's given them. Whenever they've needed a big run, a first down, he's the guy they've turned to. And it doesn't matter what the defense thinks. They feel like they've got the confidence to keep handing it to him and keep picking up good yardage.
So a solid run by Saquon Barkley and another 1st and 10 here. And he went backwards. He'll be down at the 30. Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up 2nd down.
I like the idea to mix it up from time to time because, let's face it, you can't be predictable. But the execution was a little lacking on this one, right? They might want to go back to the drawing board with that call.
Barkley, inside handoff. About 3 yards there to the 27. The recipe's pretty simple, I think, right? Is give your superstar the ball, continue to feed him.
Yeah, don't overthink this one, right? Make sure he's touching the football, but you're also counting on his intelligence in playing the game as well. If it's not there, don't force the run. Just make sure you hang on to the football and keep the clock ticking.
And he's not going to sniff the first down here. He stopped at the 25.
Well, praise has to go to the guys on the offensive line because they've had a very nice, productive day running the football. How about that poor defensive line? They've been knocked around the entire game, and while they slowed them down on that run, can they continue to do so? Because they haven't had much success throughout this ball game.
And that is no good. And this will remain an 11-point spread.
Charles, all things considered, I guess that's not a critical miss at this stage, is it?
No, but still everything helps when you're trying to finish off a ball game. And you're right, not critical in terms of the scoreboard and the team, but the guy with the golden foot, he knows he's only as good as his last kick.
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. And the throw left sideline here is caught, but they'll rule it incomplete. Couldn't keep his feet in. Second down.
What a difference a week makes. Last week he hit on over 80% of his passes. This week he's down under 50%. What do you see as the difference?
Well, I think we're used to seeing a drop. If someone's over 80%, they're not going to hold that number. Not in this league. But a drop under 50%, that just tells me that the defense, they spent a lot of extra time on game films and came up with a really...
And this is caught inside the 5. Touchdown, Dolphins.
No, we're not cheering. No, we're not rooting. But I am excited about this, and I know you are too. We got a ball game again after that big-time strike.
Big-time strike, and you are right. Don't go anywhere yet. This thing's not done.
But certainly some importance to this one now. After the touchdown, they could get this down to a field goal with a 2-point conversion.
The two are going to try and throw for it.
That's caught at the 1. And he will get into the end zone to cut the lead down to a single point. Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders.
Out of the end zone comes McKinnon. And ultimately, he stopped right where he would have been if he had simply gone down to a knee at the 25.
The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. After the touchdown we just saw, we have a brand new ball game. And now look at the situation. You've got plenty of time on the clock. Defensively, they have 3 timeouts. So do you run the football here or do you throw it?
I think you have that full conversation with your offensive unit, and you tell them, here's the situation. They've got all their timeouts, so we are not going to play this conservatively. We've got to attack them. We've got to make them use those, gain the ground that we need in order to put this game away. If you think we're just going to run it 3 times and punt it, you got another thing coming.
Yeah, and by the way, also the 2-minute warning in play, so essentially 4 timeouts left.
They have to be aggressive here.
Well, not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. They'll try and run some clock here with Barkley. And he'll take this ahead for about 4. Second down coming up. And now right out of the 2-minute break, we'll get a timeout used defensively with 1:56 to go.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
They'll go to Barkley again. And not much room to operate as he'll get this up only to about the 41. The Dolphins going to take their second timeout. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. They'll need 5 on this play to move the sticks. On 3rd down, Barkley. Call it no gain there, and it leads to a 4th down. Now the defense will burn their 3rd and final timeout as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. On is the punter, Hecker, as he gets this one away. That one sails out of bounds. The side judge will walk it off. And he says it went out of bounds at the 9-yard line. Nice punt. The field position game, such an overlooked facet, Charles, of an NFL game. But this offense, they're going to be pinned back. What an ideal punt.
An ideal punt, and it leads to that term complementary football. Because them doing that puts their defense in a great spot, doesn't it? Gives them a chance. If they want to be aggressive, try and maybe get a safety out of this whole thing, it puts them in that position.
This drive starting off on the right foot. 18 yards. Tagovailoa. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And that is incomplete. Took a shot there on 1st down, but he couldn't reel it in. These are the spots, this stage of the game, where it pays to have speed on the perimeter, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and in the second quarter, you may very well run by him, but in this situation, I know as a defender, I'm loosening up a couple of extra steps that allowed him to run with him stride for stride.
To his throw here, going to be caught by Wilson. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. That one, a gain of 20 and a first down. And he did exactly what they needed him to do, Charles. Got out of bounds. They have no timeouts.
And they knew that before the play even began. Still executed it. How many times have we seen it happen where you know it, yet a guy's still looking for a timeout or trying to stay in bounds? He got it done.
The Giants going to go ahead and use the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this.
Okay, right.
Now Tua. It's caught inside the 25. And down to the 20 he'll go before heading out of bounds. A very nice pickup of 33 yards.
Well, if you're a fan of offensive football, this game is for you because this one's been much more like a tennis match than a football game. Back and forth, and there's another example right there of another big play in the passing game.
And he'll protect himself at the end here as he winds up getting pretty decent yardage. Tua. Throw left side complete. That's Sanders. And he's going to be marked down just outside the 10. Tua to throw. And once again, this is Sanders. And the Dolphins are going to have a first and goal coming up as they find a way to convert there on 3rd and 1. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a first and goal. So here we go. Maybe the biggest kick of the game forthcoming. With 3 seconds to go, if it's good, we're off to overtime. And his kick is indeed good, and the Dolphins have tied things up here in the 4th. It's a little teaching moment here. Overtime rules. Remind us how this goes, partner.
Okay, so in the past, we had sudden death. First team to score wins, but no longer. Now, if the team receives the ball, scores a touchdown, they win the game. If they kick a field goal, though, or don't score, the other team gets a possession. And after both teams get a possession, then we're into sudden death. First team to score wins the game.
So the first crack here in overtime goes to the New York Giants as we are back underway. And we will not see a return to start overtime. It'll come out to the 25-yard line. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. And everyone knows the OT rules, Charles, but pretty simple formula. They go down and get a field goal, we continue play, but if they can find the end zone on this possession, ball game over.
And as meticulously as all teams plan for a game, I don't doubt for a second on that offense coordinator's play sheet, he's got some overtime plays that he wants to run. I know it sounds crazy, but they plan for everything. 1st and 10 all the way throughout the game, 2nd and 7, whatever. Right now, he's looking at that play sheet saying, if we get to overtime, what can we break out that they haven't seen?
They'll say no gain on the play there, and now it'll be 3rd down.
On that play, it was the defensive front that won the battle. They out-leveraged the offensive line, got into the backfield, and held them to no gain.
And they need 5 yards on 3rd down here to keep this opening drive of OT alive. Jones, first throw of overtime here. He'll get this out to Barkley, complete. Now he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. Give him 35 yards there on the 3rd down conversion. A give to Barkley out of the gun. And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the 1st down run. He gets maybe 3.
Yeah, I don't know if it's exactly a win-win, but if you're on offense, you'll take that kind of a run, all right? It was kind of stacked up. found a little bit of yardage, and frankly, they're pretty close to staying on schedule on offense. The playbook is still open for the coordinator.
From the 31, Jones. Oh, he dropped it. They were looking for him in the middle third. He couldn't catch it. Now third down.
Looked like they had an opportunity for a big play across the middle, but he didn't have the concentration or the focus necessary and dropped it before he could haul it in.
They need to get this to the 24 on third down. And the slot man goes in motion left. Now Jones. He's got Otten. And he's got another first down as he's brought down at the Dolphins' 15-yard line. 2 minutes left in this overtime session and still all tied. A nice pickup of 17 yards. Line of scrimmage, the 15. It's 1st and 10. They go back to the ground now with Barkley. And they get to him quickly here as he stopped right around the 13. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8. And I know you, with every carry, especially in overtime, you're just saying, if you're that ball carrier, hold on to the football.
Hold on to it, protect it, but not necessarily settling, because you're trying to get to the end zone. You're trying to end the game right here. And I know the defensive guys poking, clawing, raking, trying to knock the ball free and protect their end zone.
Yeah, like you alluded to, especially this part of the field. Going across the formation, there's Otten with it. And the Giants are going to be looking at 1st and goal as they move this down to the 4-yard line. Now a timeout called for by the defense. They'll be down to just one remaining as we step aside here in overtime. They'll try and run for it with Barkley. And he is in